right, so we should be. Yep. So I got the green light there. It says excellent. Let me just since I'm a newbie at this, I can't, I gotta check. Oh, let's see. I don't know how to. Let me see. We gonna roll with this.
Can you
Whew.
hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. I can.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna turn your volume down. I gotta learn all these switches, boy. All right, give me an audio check one more time.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you for having
Uh,
me. Okay.
okay, that's good. Let me turn it down just a little bit. All right. Now I got all these screens up here. Boy, I got a whole bunch of toys. I got to figure out how to use these toys. Let me see if I can go back. Let me see, cause my live is right here. Cause I got my Okay, it says live right here. Bunch of toys. I got to figure out. Okay. Oh, let me see what the screen looks like on that. Okay, it's showing all of that. So it's showing the split screen right here. Jeez. Mm-mm. Uh, so I'm trying to. We we gonna hold on one second. Yeah, it's showing me the same exact thing that I'm seeing right there. Now, who we? You still with me?
I am.
Okay. All right. Now, okay. I think this is what we're working with. I'm just wondering. I just want to make sure how this is. How do you right here? Jeez. So I want to make this the primary, and I want to chop off all of this. If if not, yeah, well, anybody comes in live, they just had to bear with me. I had to figure out how to record, or let me see. It says I can. That's just for that. Who we? All right, maybe I can put that up there. Okay, here we go. I can make this bigger right here. I can do that. Nope, it's not. Okay, there we go. Figuring out all my toes.
Yes.
Okay, that's yeah. I'm almost there. Let's see. So we almost there. But then that cuts me off. Okay, here we go. All right, I think that is going to be good, good, good. Now let me get one more thing, and then now where did I hide that? Whew, I got a whole lot of stuff up here.
Okay.
I'm gonna have all this stuff laid out the next go round.
I'm good.
And I see I got to get a better laptop. I already know that right now. One with a faster processor, but that's all good.
Hmm.
All right, so welcome to the Blast Crew. So I am so excited today to be talking about a subject that everybody in the trucking industry has been discussing. So there's a new bill being pushed to allow hair samples in drug testing for truckers or anybody with CDL license. And some say it's already in the motions. But if you've been popped on a piss test before, you might want to stick around and watch this video to the end because we are going to give you some details and some information on how to get back on the road. So today I have a very special guest, someone I've been knowing for quite a long time, and how appropriate it is for her to be my very first live guest. So none other than my sister, and not only is she my sister, but she is a specialist in this area. She has been doing this for over 20 years. So I would just allow her to introduce herself and give a little bit of background as to what she does.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I am very pleased to be um, able to assist and share knowledge. I am actually a drug screen collector. Um, I work for a company, started getting into doing collections, and actually, it's something I enjoy. Um, I am also um, so tenured, I guess, that I have over the years become a trainer for other collectors. So that is what I do, uh, 40 hours a week, and it's great.
It's actually more than 40, ain't
Yeah, sometimes it is. Yes, that's true.
it? Oh,
That is true.
all right, all right. So you are not a newbie on the block. You've been around the block a few times when it comes to this, as far as collecting DOT samples for drivers. So right now, currently in place, what type of testing is currently in place right now?
So, truck drivers and CDL holders fall in a category of testing called Department of Transportation, DOT testing. And in DOT testing, um, urine collections are allowed to be collected, and breath alcohol or saliva alcohol testing is allowed to be done for alcohol.
Okay, so what's the difference between the urine and the saliva testing?
So, urine testing, the specimen.
So so
Um,
so so let me ask. So basically, for urine testing, they just piss in the cup, and then for a saliva test, what they spit in the cup.
Spitting in the cup is one way you could do it, but the samples for DOT are actually collected on a swab,
Okay.
but it is taken from your mouth. Yes.
Okay. So I was just trying to break that in so you can lighten up a little.
Okay.
I'm trying to let you lighten up a little bit.
All right.
All right. All right. So with saliva tests, so do they always do those on site, or do some companies actually have um, collection specialists like yourself? Do they have them come out to, let's say, to their trucking company, or do they always do those at a collection site?
Okay, so let's go back a little bit.
Okay.
Right now, urine is the only one that can be collected.
Okay.
So even though oral fluid regulations have passed, we are still not able to collect oral samples yet. But urine collections and oral collections will be able to be collected at a collection site, or collectors can go out to company facilities and collect specimens in the field.
Okay, so when you say the urine samples are the only ones that you can collect, so is that like specifically with your company, or is that like a nationwide thing where they're not actually collecting saliva samples?
So that is nationwide. So right now, the regulations have been written by Department of Health and Human Services, which is the government agency over federal screening, and they regulate all federal screening, including DOT testing. They've written the regulations for us as collectors, the training requirements for us, the lab requirements. But we're in the process of still waiting for at least two laboratories to be approved by the federal government to actually process the oral fluid specimens. So the collections are we're waiting to actually have laboratories certified to do the tests.
Wow, so that's a key nugget right there. So they have already approved the saliva test, but they're not even doing the saliva test, and now they want to introduce a hair sample test.
Right.
Wow, so that's wow. So if it if
Now, there,
so if any of you drivers find that quite interesting, just drop a wow in the comment section, and if that really blew your mind, just drop wow, just spell it backwards this the next time. So just drop that. Okay, so
so the other part of what's taking so long to actually get the oral fluid testing started is, of course, first the government had to write the regulations, but they also had to write specifications for how the lab would process it, and then also for the devices that would be used for the swabs that would be used to collect the samples. So they wrote those regulations. However, there also had to be private companies who had to decide that they wanted to take up the mantle, per se, to make and develop the swabs based on those government regulations. So that in itself took the time before we actually had a swab available. Now there is a swab available, and it has passed all the FDA requirements to be able to be used. Labs are still in the process of trying to get their accreditations to do the processing of those swabs.
whew, boy, sounds like some more a lot of government BS behind the scenes, which is always the case. So of course I'm gonna well later on I'm gonna have another video to actually kind of go into detail a little bit more. I'll talk more about hair sampling, but that's crazy. So let's talk a little bit more about the standards that are actually in place right now. So if a driver fails a DOT test, what's the first thing that they should expect? So the way the system is now, if they go in and get called in for, let's say, a random um, urine sample, what's if they don't pass that test? What happens?
So, private employers or these trucking companies have the option to develop their policies for substance abuse um, the way that they want. So
Hmm.
some drivers automatically would not be able to drive. So they would be removed from safety sensitive work. But the companies have the option of whether they would transfer them into another position or another type of position and work with the driver, or allow them to stay with the company to go through the process of regaining the use of their CDL.
Okay.
Then you have companies that may automatically um, disqualify you from working from the company. So there is a possibility of termination.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Oh, so now the so is there a federal standard that says if a driver tests positive, you must do X, Y, Z?
the CDL, they fall under Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration regulations. So the FMCSA does have a policy that says drivers who are or test positive or refuse a test um, will be their violations must be posted in the FMCSA clearinghouse.
Okay. Awesome. 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 All right. Now,
And those FMCSA regulations require that the FMCSA must contact the state driving license agency to begin the process of um, downgrading your CDL.
okay. Awesome. 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 Now, let's see, because I have a so my audience they send in some questions, so that's why I'm reading these questions from the list. Let's see what we got. We've got it. So let's see. That's what they should expect. So now, how do they? So once they've been placed out of service or their CDL has been downgraded, so what's kind of like the next step for them to get back on the road?
So each state can set their own requirements for what getting back on the road looks like. So it
What?
depends on the state what that process would be. So they could require additional training, additional classes, additional fees, um, or a time period that you would need to wait. So there's processes; those are set by each state.
Okay. So and I've read some information. I guess they would like one of the processes is being connected with what they call a SAP. Um, so shit, I forgot what the doggone acronym stands for. Um, was it
SAP stands for actual substance abuse professional.
okay? Substance abuse professional. So see, that's why I
Yes.
call the expert because I don't keep up with all of this stuff. So I had to get an expert on the line to keep me in track to let me know what in the world is going on with all this stuff. So a substance
Yep.
abuse professional. Okay.
Yes. So the SAP or substance abuse professional process is actually required by DOT um, regulations, and it applies to all DOT employees. Um, it is a requirement where if you have failed a test or had a positive result as a DOT regulated employee, um, in order to work the process to regain your safety sensitive job functionality, you would have to go through the process to have an assessment by
Hmm.
an SAP. They will determine uh, any type of classes or treatment that would be needed depending on a driver's specific situation. They would determine the time frame for what that process should look like, um, whether that be outpatient or inpatient treatment. And then they actually mandate a schedule for testing um, that is done on a periodic frequency to make sure that the driver is still um, DOT ready to work over the next few years.
Okay. Wow. Damn. So and I would guess that's kind of, well, that's not even regulated by the states as what that particular SAP professional what they recommend and the guidelines that they say that because I'm looking at this and saying okay so you can have well different drivers will have to meet different qualifications according to the SAP that they have. Now, do some of these larger carriers, you know, I won't even mention any trucking company names, but do some of these larger carriers have like a designated SAP since they might have 500 drivers? Do you know if that's what they normally do? Well, I guess it's not. It wouldn't be one particular SAP because you got drivers in different states. So, do you know how they handle that, or
They actually can have a list of SAPs that they work with or that they would give the driver to refer them to contact those SAPs. Um, and then uh, when COVID came around a few years, I believe that the initial assessments and everything had to be done by the driver in person with the SAP. But with COVID, travel and meetings became harder to accomplish. So I believe those assessments can be done virtually. So they still may be able to have an SAP that they use most frequently, and that is the person that they use as their go-to for drivers that have a drug and alcohol violation.
wow? So I'm just thinking. So now, let's say if your company, let's say you drive for a company, and they say, well, this is our SAP. Go see this person. What if you don't if you don't vibe with that particular person? Can you as a driver select a different SAP?
Yes, you should be able to.
Okay,
I
okay,
believe you would. Yes.
okay. Because I'm just thinking about, man, somebody they ain't trying to get you back on the road. They be like, nah, you got to. So, and I know you were saying about the SAP has the authority to kind of suggest the frequency of when that driver has to test and retest. So now, what's the cost of having to go through an SAP, or just like general, just the I know it's gonna be different for each individual, but just kind of give drivers what that cost would kind of look like.
It really does vary. And I would say it could be anywhere from a few hundred to a few $1,000s, depending on the actual individual case.
Mm. Because each time you take a each time you have to take a urinalysis test to continue along in that program, the driver has to pay for that. That's coming out of that driver's pocket. So let's let's make sure the drivers know how much do these tests usually cost each time they have to submit another sample just to continue along the process.
Well, that actually depends as well because um, we talked about before, when a driver has a drug and alcohol violation, some companies may automatically terminate the driver, but there are some companies who may keep them on and put them in a different DOT non-safety sensitive position within the company. So they may still be working, and some of this um, is up to the private employers on whether or not they offer assistance or actually want to foot the bill for the SAP process and the testing that goes along with that. But then you have some private companies who may opt not to do that, and then the burden would be on the driver. I would say each test would probably run between 50 and $100 in general for a range.
Wow. So now we're talking about if you're an owner operator and you fail a random drug test, and so then that burden of finding an SOP for one is going to be on you, and obviously those individual tests, all of that's going to be coming out of your pocket as well if you're an owner operator that say you got popped on a random. So so this can be a very, very, very expensive route to get back on the road. So just let's make sure we stay clean and we don't have to go through this. But at least this is some valuable information to give to drivers just in case they need it. So well, right now we're gonna take a
And
real
the driver could
Say it again.
I was just going to add that not only would there be responsibilities preparing for the actual test, but the SAP fees would need to be paid, as well as whatever treatment they recommend. Those fees would also be incurred by either the company or the driver for the process of the treatment.
Wow. So I mean, this could easily be 2, 3, 4, 5 grand. I mean, by the time you add up all the fees and going to the SAP and whoo-wee, and then we still talking about you not being able to drive while you're going through all this process. So you're talking about no revenue coming in, but a whole lot going out. Whew, man.
That's true.
Okay. So we're gonna pause for a commercial break right quick. So as you see, I have been using my Blue Parrot Bluetooth headphones. Of course, these are the ones that drivers use. Well, some drivers don't use them, but they're the ones that they should be using because I have had these since 2017. Okay, and they are still going strong. I still wear these. They're a little bit. I need to replace my cushions, but they still work. And of course, they are Bluetooth ready, but they also have the 3.5 millimeter cable just in case you need it, in case you're doing your own YouTube channel from the house, from the truck, wherever you're doing it from, and you need to monitor what's going on in your video. So go grab those Blue Parrot Bluetooth headphones. You can pick them up from Amazon. And if you need a link, of course, the link is in the description below. All right, so we're gonna break this down in another video. We're gonna go into more details. Just a quick wrap. So with the saliva test not even being fully implemented, so in reality, how long would it possibly take to get these to get the hair testing, to get all that stuff set up and in place?
There is literally no crystal ball to be able to tell. From people in the industry, we were anticipating doing oral fluid screens, um, probably the end of last year or early this year. Still has not come around. Uh, and even after hair passes, um, for federal and for DOT. They will also have to be comment periods, more bills written, and it would have a legislation period still before it would be enacted. Plus, all of the federal drug screen forms would have to be updated. Labs would have to be certified to do hair testing on at the federal standards. So I'm thinking it would be years and years.
Okay. Wow. So anyway,
And through all of this, administrations are changing. So what might have been proposed in a regulation might change when another administration comes into play. So, everyone would have to agree on that and continue to say that that is a focus of their administration to work on that part so it doesn't just drop off between administrations.
gotcha. I ain't even think about that part of it. Not even that wasn't even on my radar. So anyway, our time is running short, so we are very grateful and thankful. The Blast crew really appreciates your input, the value that you brought to the table today. So I hope this has been some key information that will be uh, that our drivers will find very beneficial. So um, make sure that you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Um, all that good YouTube stuff. I don't like to, harp on that stuff, but I just really want to say thank you so much for coming and joining the Blast crew on this beautiful Saturday.
Awesome. A
All
round
right.
of applause.
All right, sis. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ooh-wee. So, let's see.
Wow. So did you